Right people, I've got some bad news for you. So before we get into this video, I need to tell you that I'm announcing the winner of the A35 AMG tonight, right? That is still going ahead, but the engine still isn't repaired on it. So if you do win the car tonight, you can have the car, but you're gonna have to wait for the car to be repaired before you can take it. If you decide that you don't want the car, you don't wanna wait, that's fair enough. You can take a £10,000 cash alternative. But I just need to let you know the car's not done yet. We will do a follow-up video at some point explaining the issues that we've had getting that car repaired. It's been a bloody headache, but it's, you know, it's gonna make a good video. I did say that if we couldn't get the engine repaired, then I wouldn't give it away. It's cost a lot more than I expected it would cost, but it's just one of them things. I still want to go ahead with giving it away. So it's 49p an entry. Obviously, make sure you get your one free entry. And if you're a dream catcher, you are already entered, all right? Good luck. I'm announcing the winner live on the Planet of Dreams Instagram tonight at 9 p.m. See you then. So my new G81 M3 Touring, I've had it for just over a week now, and basically guys, I've got a little bit of a problem with the car and I need to do a video talking about my problem. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the problem. We're also going to talk about why today's video isn't a first mods video. There's actually loads to talk about, and also something else that I need to touch on is how I've paid for this car. So where do we start with this video? So I think we should need to start with rewind back to the collection day of the car, right? Because it was such a magical day. The video has absolutely smashed it. It's had so much positive love, loads of good attention. We then done an Instagram post on it. On Instagram, the car is absolutely smashing it. I think it's because of the colour, isn't it? It just stands out so much. It looks unbelievable. I want to say a big thanks to Steve at Sit the BMW in Tring, because he's just been brilliant. The whole process, he's just managed it all perfectly. The handover was amazing. The video was cool. It was cool getting him in the video as well. And he's just been brilliant the whole way through. What's also cool about that day is the i7 reveal. So that was actually Steve's idea. Steve said to me, Cal, what, should we just cover up another car? Just an idea. And you know what he's like, he's a serious guy, he's very professional.
Just an idea, Cal. Should we cover up one of the other cars and maybe reveal that?
I was like, Steve, that's a bloody brilliant idea, mate. That's exactly what we need to do. But I said to him, what would be even better is if we done it with an electric car, because that is going to annoy everyone. So Steve said, Cal, I'll make sure we get an electric car under a cover for you before you arrive. I arrived there that day, the i7 was under a cover, and he told me what car it was.
i7, i5, I don't know, I can't remember.
But I didn't really consider what car it was. And when he pulled the cover off, I was like, what car is this? And before we revealed it, he said, Cal, so how are we going to do this? I said, look, just follow me, Steve. I'll lead the way. We'll just wing it. We'll blag it, yeah? So we pulled the cover off. I didn't know what car it was. I walked around the back of the car, and you might have seen this in the video. I was like, yeah, guys, so good. Welcome to my new BMW. And I've walked around the back, and it's like, it is BMW i5 electric car. Obviously I wanted a sensible daily, guys. And at that moment everyone must have been like, oh no, what has Calvin done? He surely hasn't gone and bought an electric car. Obviously we didn't. We moved on to the reveal of the M3 Touring, and I'd only seen, last time I saw this car it was parked at the back of the BMW dealership car park. And at that point it wasn't clean, it wasn't prepped, it wasn't ready to be handed over to me. And when they pulled off the cover at that point in the showroom, what a lovely showroom it is as well, by the way, it just looked absolutely stunning. It was also the first time that I saw my car with my private plate on it. We're going to talk about the private plate shortly, but before I do that, let me just go through some of the comments in that video, because some of them are so good. Phil Dias, PJD, my heart literally sank when you uncovered the i5. I've just said i7, that's how clued up I am about. Was it an i5 or an i7, am I? That's an i5. It's actually on my screen there. It is an i5. Yeah. My heart literally sank when you uncovered that i5. You're a proper comedian, Calvin. Love the new car. Calvin, you are a proper stand-up guy, so humble, and people admire you just for being you. How nice is that, man? How nice is it for anyone to receive a comment like that? Thank you so much, Phil. That's a lovely comment. I appreciate that a lot. Youngsters, look at this man. This is from Zombie UK, so zombie with a U. Zombie UK, youngsters, look at this man. Started with nothing. Look at what he's achieving. Full respect and enjoy your hard-earned car. Oh, man. Another one there from Jamie Officially Gas. Absolutely smashed it, brother. We've got Ricky Living Life Fast as well. Yes, Cal. Huge congratulations, brother. Someone else has said, you actually scared the out of me when you revealed an electric car. And there was another comment that stood out as well. As a 60-year-old and a BMW 440 owner, it warms my heart to see someone who has been in the car business for years and still gets so excited on picking up his new motor. After driving for over 40 years, I still get a huge buzz seeing a cool car. I do too, man, it's so cool. Keeping it real, Calvin, and well done on your achievements, well deserved, sir. P.S. I love the colour. Like, as I say that, I just feel so good, man. I've literally got hairs standing up on the back of my neck, and the support that I get from you lot in general is incredible. I'm super grateful. For me, social media is a positive space, it's a positive journey, and it's been nothing but positive since day one. And when I drop a video like revealing my new car, I knew it was going to be a massive video, but the reaction we got, it was priceless. So thanks everyone so much. Moving on to the car now. So obviously I've had it for just over a week. We're filming this on Friday. I collected it last Tuesday. It's beautiful in so many ways. It's practical, it's good looking, it serves such a good multiple range of purposes. And I think the special thing, I keep saying, is the colour, but also the shape of the car, the fact that it's a touring. We love estate cars, and I suppose it probably derived from the Audi generation. The first Audi estate car, I think, was the Audi RS2. They paired up with Porsche, they made that car. It was an incredible car. I absolutely love them. I've always loved them. And they moved on from that to the RS4. And every generation of RS car going forward was an estate. This is the first time BMW have ever done an M3 Touring, and I'm so pleased they've done it. When it first got announced, I remember I'd done a post on my Instagram, and there was like a render of the car sort of going around the internet. I posted them shots on my Instagram. This was probably a couple of years ago now, and everyone was like, Calvin, you need to get one of these cars. Surely you're gonna get one. Obviously I had every intention of getting one, but I didn't know it would happen this soon, because it's kind of against my rules as a car dealer to go and just buy a brand new car, which we are going to talk about shortly, of course. So my personal favourite part of this car is without a doubt the rear end of this car. Like the way it looks wide, it looks aggressive. I posted a picture of a Z3M Coupe on my Insta story the other day. They're one of my favourite looking cars of all time. They're the most attractive thing. They're just, I don't even know if attractive is the right word. They're squat, they're aggressive, they look angry but beautiful at the same time. And just the back end, the way that they're just chunky, aren't they? And I feel like this is almost a modern day version of that. In fact, a little idea just sprung to mind. Imagine if you could cut this in half and remove the back doors and make a short wheelbase version of an M3 Touring. I'll put that idea out there. Someone will do that, I'm sure, at some point. So yeah, the practicality of it as well. The fact that, you know, we've got these big arches, we've got these 4 exhausts at the back, we've got the carbon fibre, and we're going to talk about the spec list as well shortly and how much the spec cost on this car. When you open up the boot, I use it, like I deliberately use this as like a practical family daily using car. I've got my water in the back, look, got big bottles of water. I pulled up outside the shop this morning just throwing water in the boot of my estate car. Like I'm literally using it like it's a proper estate car. I've got my gym bag in there, got my new car trade jacket from Bicester Village the other day. I went to Bicester Village because my missus was like, Sunday, I had the day off work on Sunday, and my missus was like, Cal, what should we do today? I said, I'll tell you what we'll do, we're going to go shopping. She was like, you actually want to go shopping? I said, yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll go to Bicester Village. It's a bit of a run going to Bicester Village. We'll go to Bicester Village. She's like, why do you want to go to Bicester Village? Well, one of the reasons was I actually want to get one of them jackets for the winter because they're perfect. You're in and out of the yard. But the second reason was I wanted to drive my new car, didn't I? So we went for a little drive in the Touring, and again, I'm just excessively using it at the minute. I'm still in that honeymoon period, and I am loving it, bar the problem, which we're going to get to shortly. Moving on with the visuals, from every angle, it looks spot on. The rear end sits nice. Could it do with being lowered? I don't think so. But when you come to the front, obviously they're staggered wheels. We've got 19s on the front, 20s on the rear. We could do with dropping it a little bit on the front, and then definitely spacing it on both sides, which we were going to be doing in today's first mod video. In the collection video I said we're going to be doing a first mods video, and that was meant to be today, but obviously that isn't happening. We're going to talk about that when we go for a drive shortly. The number plate, let's quickly touch on the number plate. So obviously my name is spelled C-A-L-V-I-N, yeah? C3LVN would represent a C and an E. So it's not perfect, but I am super pleased with the number plate. The way it came about was I've always wanted C4LVN, it's not available. It was seemingly available a few years ago. I called them up to try and buy it. It has disappeared, I don't know what happened to it. One of my subscribers, his name is Calvin as well, reached out and said, Calv, I've got a number plate, he sent me a picture of his car, I think it's an E46 3 Series. Do you want to buy it? And I thought, do you know what, that looks really good. So I bought that plate off of him quite a while ago now. I've never had it on a car because the nature of being a car dealer is all of my cars are in a trade name, not in my personal name. You can only put a private plate on a car that's in a personal name, not a trade name, so I've never had the opportunity to put a private plate on any of my cars. So I put that on, and I think going back to when Steve revealed the car on the day of the collection, I looked at it, the colour in the showroom, the stance, the presence of the car with the plate on it. I was just so happy, man. It was just like, yes, this is the one. This is the car for me. So
if you had to keep one M3 Touring, would it be this one or your other one?
Oh, Amar, man. I'd have to keep the other one. And the reason for that is this is replaceable, that isn't. It's as simple as that. And so much heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears has gone into that car, and it still ain't complete. And I almost like it that that car is not complete, because one, I'd done a post many years ago on Instagram saying there was this guy at the car wash opposite my old car dealership. He had a Ferrari F430. It was stunning. And it was, at the time, it might have been a few years old. And I went up to him. It was a red convertible. I said, mate, do you know what? I absolutely love your car. And I've told this story so many times on social media. And the guy said to me, do you know what the best thing about this car is? Wanting it. And it's so true. The journey to getting something, the chase, the excitement, the buzz of hopefully or maybe one day getting it, that's what's exciting. When you get it, don't get me wrong, like this is incredible. But the point being, the M3 Touring, I'm almost quite glad that it's not done yet. I'm chasing it all the time. In the background, there's always little bits going on with that car, and it's slowly getting there. And I'm seeing the progress, I'm seeing the progression, and it is exciting. And one day I'll have it, and I'll be at a car show with it, and it'll be complete. Not to say that I won't enjoy it, because of course I will, but sometimes the chase is just as exciting as the reward. So it's a long-winded version of my answer, Amar, all right? But that was definitely a good question. It's probably something that a lot of people will ask. And also, what I do want to do is I want to get the pair of them together for a photo shoot. So we'll do that at some point tomorrow as well, yeah? Cool. So let's jump in and hit the roads. The interior of this car is just such a nice place to be. And there's so many things I keep looking at it thinking, I need to talk about that, I need to talk about that. And I'll probably do a 1 month review, or I don't know. There'll be more videos. There will without a doubt be more videos in this car, because there is so much to be said for it. I was just thinking as I stood outside, I love a G80 M3, as in the saloon. But after having a Touring, like, I just feel like it, although it's an identical car and there's only like a marginal amount of difference visually, it just feels a bit more special having a Touring. I'm not putting the saloons down, they're amazing, I love them. But it just feels special. Even when you're sat in the driver's seat of this and you look in the rearview mirror and you can see a flat back window, it just feels good. It's got a rear wiper as well. Not that you care, who cares about having a rear wiper? But it just completes the overall feeling, the overall package of having an M3 Touring. So what we're going to do now is let's talk about standard stuff. Here we go. Car Vertical. Massive thank you to Car Vertical for sponsoring my channel. They are massive support. You lot support them as well. It works really well, and it's important. I say it all the time. It's so important you do your checks when you're buying a used car. It's a little bit different in this situation because I'm buying, it's a brand new car essentially, but when you're buying a used car, it's been on the road for a few years, been through a few owners, you just don't know the background history of it. So yeah, use my code CCD to get a discount. This is the check for the Car Vertical check for the M3 Touring. It actually says BMW M3 competition at the top there, 2024. And what you want to see when you're doing a Car Vertical check is all green ticks. But on this one, it says finance. Yeah, this car has finance on it, guys, which means that it's not entirely mine. So odometer's all good. Obviously, it's only done 4,000. When I collected it, what? I've actually done 4,800 miles now. When I collected it, I think it done 4,222. I'm sure it did. If it did, that means I've done 600 miles in it in just over a week. That's ridiculous. But I am still in that honeymoon period, as I said earlier, so I'm still excited about it, and I'm excessively driving it because I'm like, do I need to go for a drive? Yeah, of course I do. So I'm going for that drive all the time. That will calm down as I own it. So yeah, no damage and not been stolen before. So that is, you know, it's all good, bar the finance thing, which is not what you want to see when you're doing a Car Vertical check. If you're about to buy one and it's got finance on it, well, the finance company own that car, you don't. Even after you've paid for it, if you've rightfully bought that car from somebody and they've still got finance on it, the finance company can come and take that car off of you. If you're buying a car and it's got a stocking loan on it, this is a question that I get asked a lot in DMs and stuff. If you're buying a car and it's got a stocking loan on it, people say to me, Calv, is it risky for me to buy that car off that dealer. All I can say to you is, of course there is an element of risk, but that is how the whole car trade works. You have to pay for that car first, then after you've paid for it, they will clear their stocking loan, and then, you know, the car vertical check will then show as clear from any finance. So don't be alarmed if you see a car with a stocking loan on it when you're buying it, but if you do feel in any way that something's dodgy or your gut feeling saying to you, don't buy this car, then just don't buy it. Ask them to clear their loan first and then go ahead and buy it. But I just wanted to put that out there, that it is perfectly normal, because it's such a common question that I always get asked. So yeah, the car is financed, and I think, what should we do? Let's just hit the road. Oh no, we're not going to do that actually. We need to talk about specs. I'm getting carried away. Let's talk about specs, guys. Just as well, like my little brain just started ticking there, because if it didn't, we would have missed out on the spec side of this car. So let's do another screen recording and talk about specs, guys. So we're going to head over to enter reg. The mileage on this car, of course, 4,000 miles. We're going to talk about values when we go for a drive in it though. For this section of the video, we are only going to talk about specs. So you can see purple there, twilight purple, what a colour. And the M carbon package, which is the, I was going to say it's external carbon, but surely it ain't, because there's two. There's actually an exterior carbon package there, but either way, the first one is £7,090. The one below that is £4,510. Then below that, we've got the M carbon bucket seats. What a feature these seats are in this car. They were £3,740. Wow. The visibility pack is £1,575. Honestly, the headlights on this car are incredible. When you drive this car at night, the way that they just mold to the features of the road and come out of the way of oncoming cars. I know a lot of you have probably already seen that before, but it is so cool. It's fascinating to know that they're able to, they're like lasers. Well, they literally are lasers, aren't they, Cav? But yeah, they're super impressive. Money well spent, £1,575. It's also got the comfort pack, which was just over £1,000. Heated steering wheel, which I used this morning. I didn't really need to use it, but it's there, and I thought, no, why not? I can. That's cool. And then the extended merino leather in black as well, which is also very, very nice. So at this point, we're going to demonstrate the noisy start feature. So in an F80 M3, you get in, if you want to start it in M mode, you have to press the ignition button first. Then you can press the M2 button or M1, whatever, however you've got the car set up, and it will engage the noisy exhaust mode, which this car does have. In this car, you don't need to, basically you just don't need to press an ignition button. You just get in, double tap the M2. It's now in M2 mode. You can then start the engine and it sounds like this. Which I think, for a stock car with all sorts of filters restricting the noise of the engine, I think it sounds pretty good. I'm quite impressed with the way it sounds. What's also impressive, or perhaps more impressive, is the way it drives, which I am going to demonstrate shortly. But before I do that, I just want to put the cameras on, get that light out of the way, and then we'll go. Sorted. The head-up display as well, such a big feature on this car. So nice. It's subtle. It doesn't intrude in your eye line. It's just there, and sometimes you even forget about it. It's just nice. The sound system is unreal as well. It's got some different surround modes as well that just makes it sound unbelievable. Feel like you're in a bloody cinema, which is also cool. But going back to the subject of funding the car, right? This car, the value of this car today is £85,000, right? It's a lot of money. It's a hell of a lot of money. And am I in a position to buy, can I afford to buy a car today to run around in for £85,000? I think the answer to that is, I suppose the answer to that is no. If I've got £85,000 sat in the bank today, what's my priority with that money? My priority with that money is buying stock. And one of my downfalls in the past has been with having my own cars, has been buying cars cash. My M5, for example, I bought that cash. I think it's about £60,000, and I'm an idiot for doing that, because my nature of my trade and my business is I'm an investor. And how can you invest without money? You can't. Money is my tool. I need money to invest. If what's another example? VRS, they use their tools as tools. If Will lent out all of his tools, he wouldn't be able to do no work, and that would cripple his business. So for me, the idea of getting my own car, I've obviously always wanted my own car, but it's not been as easy as just going out and buying one, strangely, because it's what I do for a living. People say to me all the time, Cav, why don't you just buy yourself a new car? Just like you're buying cars all the time. It's not quite as easy as that. So when I first went to BMW, I went to buy the X3M as a bit of stock. Again, I would have loved to have kept hold of that car, because it's such a nice thing. It's one of their part exchange cars. They wanted to sell it in the trade. I bought it off of them, And on that day I went there, I met a few of the staff there that are viewers of the channel, and I made a bit of a relationship with a couple of them, and off the back of that we got talking about one day the opportunity of me getting a new car from BMW. Obviously the viewers of my channel, everyone knows that I love BMWs. It is such a natural or obvious thing for me to do, to be in a BMW, especially an M3 Touring. So when the opportunity became available to buy one but pay monthly for it, of course I did get a bit of a deal as well. To me it was an absolute no-brainer. I wouldn't be sat here in this car right now if BMW didn't offer me the opportunity they offered me. So I am super pleased. Would I buy one cash today? I wouldn't buy any car. It's not about an M3 Touring. I wouldn't go out and buy any car cash today, because my priority, like I said, is investing into stock. And it's kind of an annoying part of the car trade, because you're constantly stretched out, you're constantly spent out. You can't really spend money on yourself because you've got to look at stock all the time. I've got loads of staff, I've got loads of overheads. That all needs paying for. The only way that's getting paid for is by buying stock all the time. So stock is my priority. Having a nice car is a second, not even a second priority. It's not a priority, but by doing this, it's given me the opportunity to have a brand new, or nearly brand new, M3 Touring. So that answers that. Now the drive of the car, it's got like lights, rev lights. So when it gets up in the rev range, you don't even need to look down at where you are on the rev range, because the lights flash up at the point where it tells you that you can, or you should change. So I'm looking up at the road at the minute, and I can see the lights. They go from amber to red, and when they're at red, that's when you change gear. It's so engaging. It's obviously four-wheel drive as well, so it's super practical this time of the year. I'll be honest with you, since the day I've owned it, other than today, it's been nothing but raining. Like every day has been horrible. The weather's been terrible. Today the weather's lovely, so I'm going to get a feel for full throttle for the first time probably about now. It's 500 brake horsepower. And something else I want to talk about is the fact that it's a 6-cylinder, it's a straight 6 twin turbocharged engine. It is a lot of power, and going back to like the practicality side of it, obviously we'd all love to run around in a V8 every day. That'd be amazing. Like in America, that's how they live their lives. But over here, we're kind of restricted with, I suppose, in the real world, daily driving a V8, it ain't ideal. The fact that this is a 6-cylinder, it kind of fits. It feels a little bit more practical. I know that's probably not, it's still 500 horsepower, but it does do, I've done a couple of full tanks by this point, it does do almost 300 miles to a full tank, depends on how you're driving it, between 250 and 300 miles, so that's pretty good. And to fill the tank costs you about 70 quid or so I think that's alright. Now the final point of the video is the problem that I've got with this car. So basically, I'm sure you might have guessed what the problem is. What do you think the problem is? The problem with this car, and it's also a positive, it's good and bad, the problem is the seats. And when I first picked this car up, I drove it around that day. I went and picked Kai up from school, as you lot know, and I was on my way back from collecting Kai from school. Me and him was in the car, and my back started aching a little bit, and there's quite a high point on the side of this seat, and it was kind of digging into the side of my leg. And Steve messaged me and said, "Cal, how are you getting on with the car? I hope you like it." And I rang him up and said, "Steve, I'm absolutely loving the car, but the seats, I don't know if I can get on with these seats." He's like, "You're joking, why not? What's wrong with them?" I said, "Steve, I don't think the seats are the problem. I think I'm the problem. I'm 17 stone, I'm 6'3", I'm a big boy. These seats ain't made for someone my size." They almost are. But Steve, but they're just kind of like, they're not the most comfortable things to sit in. And Steve said to me, "Cal, why don't you just see how you get on with them, and we can have a chat in a week or so's time." I said, "Steve, the thing is, if I don't get on with them, you know the solution to this problem, don't you? The solution is either A, change the seats, or B, change the car." And one, I don't want to change seats. I feel like it would deface the car. Like, that'd be criminal to pull your carbon fibre bucket seats out of your M3 Touring that was specced with it for just however many thousands of pounds. And doing that would be wrong. And then going to buy a different car, changing it for a different car. The problem with that is, I mean that's possible, but it's a bit drastic.
the bigger issue with that is the fact that this is Twilight Purple, this car, and currently on the market there isn't another Twilight Purple M3 Touring available, and I think I'd struggle. Like, there's lots of other nice colours, don't get me wrong, but the love that this colour's got, not just from me but from everybody else, I'd struggle to part with it. So for me, I don't know. The plan was, right, and I mentioned this in the first video, that I was going to move on and do a first mods video. Yeah, that was the plan, that was the idea for today. I wanted to do a first mods. I've got a few ideas that I want to do to the car, nothing too drastic, because I don't want to go overboard with it, I don't want to ruin it, I want to keep it nice, but I haven't done that, and the reason for that is because I wanted to see how I'll get on with the car first, how I'll get on with these seats. And I'll be honest with you, after a week or so of driving the car with these seats, I have got used to them. I do like them now. Maybe the feeling I was feeling on day one was a bit of like fear, like it's my new car, and but it's completely gone. It's part of the package of this car. It's part of the character. These seats need to stay in this car. I think if I was to go away now and spec an M3 Touring for myself again, I'd get the comfort seats. There's no way would I get these seats again. But then on the flip side, had I have got the comfort seats in this car when I collected it on the day of collection, I think a lot of people would have been like, Cal, you've bought yourself this nice M3 Touring, you've gone for an incredible spec, but you haven't gone for the carbon fibre bucket seats. Why have you not done that? And I would agree with you. So getting the carbon fibre bucket seats for me was an absolute must. But I'd much rather be sat in the comfort seats now, I'll be honest with you. But it is what it is. I'm not, don't feel sorry for me, it's all good. Like, I love these seats. And even if you break the look of these seats down, they look incredible. They ain't got Recaro in them, which ain't a bad thing. They've got M3 in them. They are purposely made for this car. They've got, the arse of them are really attractive. They've got the carbon fibre in the centre of your legs there. The upstands on the side, like, they're bucket seats. They're meant to hold you in your car. They do a good job of it. The sides here, I'm too wide for the sides. There is a lumbar adjustment here, so you can bring, is it lumbar or, you know, the outer side of the seats? You can adjust it. I'm at the widest point of adjustment and I'm still too wide for the seats. The visuals of them, the way they look from the front is unreal. But the back, the big carbon shells on the back of these seats, they just look so good. So I feel like the slight compromise in comfort is worth it to give it large on Instagram, basically. So they're staying, the car's staying. I am going to film a first mods video. We're going to move forward with that first mods video. I do also want to say, if you rewind back to when I had my Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, for those that were on the channel at that point in time, you'll know that I got rid of that car for more than one reason, but one of the main reasons was the seats in that as well. But again, when I bought that car, I only wanted a car with the carbon fibre bucket seats. I did not want them comfort seats. One thing BMW do is their comfort seats look good. I don't feel like they're a compromise visually. They look amazing and they're comfortable. But in the Alfa Romeos, I feel like the carbon fibre bucket seats were an absolute must. So I didn't want one unless it had them. I bought one with the seats and I hated the seats. Like, they weren't for me. But again, not because they're bad seats, because I'm a bit of a lumpy geezer. That's it. All right. So yeah, we will now be moving forward with the first mods of the car, and I'm going to get that filmed and uploaded in the next few weeks. If you've got any questions about the car, about me owning it, if you're about to buy one, you're thinking about buying one, or you're just curious about anything, ask me in the comments below. Obviously, if you do buy one, I would highly recommend sitting a BMW and Tring, because they're incredible. Deal with Steve. If you don't deal with Steve, they're all good. They're all brilliant there, all right? Tring is located sort of between Dunstable and Hemel Hempstead, I suppose, in that region. So yeah, keep them in mind if you're buying a new BMW. There is one more thing I want to say. When I collected the car originally, I spoke about you know, having basic trainers on, basic trousers, and the things that are important in life, yeah? Things that aren't important are material items, really, let's face it. And I always like to remind myself that the man that requires or needs external material items to give himself happiness is the man that is never going to be happy. Like, you don't need, none of us need anything external to make us happy. What's important is our internal happiness, how we feel about ourselves, and the health of ourselves and our loved ones around us. That's what's really, really important. Anything outside of that is second to that. And for me, But as I was driving down the road in my M3 Touring that day, and I was like sort of like a bit like uncomfortable, as I mentioned in the video, I was thinking, this is amazing, this is a lovely experience, but is it really important? Because I'm genuinely quite happy. I'm under a lot of pressure, I do have a little bit of stress in my life, don't get me wrong, but we all do. But I don't need a car to complete my life. But at the same time, and I am about to contradict myself now, this car has made me happier daily. Like, happier, that's the word, not happy. Happier. I'm driving down the road, I'm enjoying driving now more than I've probably ever enjoyed in my life. I became a commuter. Like, I was just driving bits of stock every day of my life. Whatever came in, whatever was dirty, whatever wasn't currently up for sale, I just jump in that and drive it home. This time last week I was driving, or a week or so ago, I was driving a Jaguar XF, which I mentioned in that video, which is alright. You know, it's not a bad car, don't get me wrong. But I didn't enjoy it. I'm a petrol head. I want to engage with my driving. I want to enjoy driving. I want to have fun in the drive seat of my car. And this car, the music, I said about the music thing earlier, the sound system, I am so enjoying the music. I don't listen to music. I'm quite happy driving down the road in my own world, in my own thoughts. I'm quite happy doing that. But I've got DAB radio, I've got my phone connected to the car now, and I'm flicking through the radio stations, and there's music playing. I'm finding myself enjoying music more. I'm singing along to music because I'm just enjoying the drive of my car. I'm pulling up to the gym, locking the car, parking it up, being selective with where I'm parking, and I'm turning around as I walk into the front door of the gym, and I'm admiring the rear end of my car, or the front end if I've reversed it in, and I enjoy everything so much more now. And I'm not saying that you should all go out and get yourself strapped up and buy yourself a brand new car to a point where you can't afford it, because that ain't important. We've all got our own thing, we've all got something that we like, and having a nice car, for me, and for all of us that like cars, is really important. I feel like it's money invested in yourself and into your own happiness. But at the same time, like I said, I don't want to encourage people to go and get strapped up with a car, because that's not what this is about. You can spend a couple of grand and be happy, and you can see by the history of my channel, so many cars that I've done videos on have put massive smiles on my face. But annoyingly for me, everything's been for sale. Now on the plus side, because this car, I pay monthly for it, I can't sell it. Am I saying everything's for sale? This car can't be for sale. I can't sell it. It's got to stay with me, which is good, which has enabled me to gel with it, to bond with it, and I'll be able to hang on to it. So yeah, I'm happier because of this car. Guys, I'm gonna leave it as that. Any questions or any comments you got, do ask me in the comments below. Thank you all for all your support, all your love, all your encouragement, everything that you do, because I'm super grateful for every single one of you. Hit like if you like this video, hit subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.